morning, brothers and sisters. Good morning, delegates. Good morning, invited guests. Good morning, listening and viewing audience. I'd first like to take the opportunity to acknowledge all protocols that has been established. Our theme for this year, our 57th annual Delegates Conference, is Climate Action, the agenda for trade union now. This theme is quite relevant today, since it refers to the efforts taken to address and mitigate the impacts of climate change. These efforts include reducing greenhouse gas emissions, investing in renewable energy sources, promoting sustainable practices, and protecting vulnerable communities from the effects of global warming. Brothers and sisters, climate action is crucial in order for us to limit global temperature rise and prevent catastrophic climate outcomes. These remedies require urgent and coordinated steps from governments, businesses, organizations, and individuals to transition from low carbon economy and to adopt sustainable practices in all aspects of life. While trade unions have historically been at the forefront of championing workers' rights, advocating for fair wages, safe working conditions, and social justice, today we face an unprecedented challenge that demands an evolution of focus and expansion of vision. Brothers and sisters, the climate crisis is not just an environmental issue, and I repeat, climate crisis is not just an environmental issue. It is an economic, social, and ethical one that affects every worker, every community, every industry. Moreover, it is no secret that climate change is excessively impacting marginalized communities, further exacerbating existing inequalities, which make it essential for us to address climate impacts in a just and equitable manner. In our small island developing state of Antigua and Barbuda, tourism accounts for more than half GDP, gross domestic product, with hotels and restaurant sectors employing more than 8,000 workers. Unfortunately, this sector is also practically vulnerable to changes in the climate. Weather experts are now predicting more powerful storms in our region, which will likely result in massive economic dislocation, not just for the thousands of tourism workers, but all workers across all industries. These extreme weather events, coupled with rising sea levels, threatens our beaches and coastal infrastructure, which we rely on for the viability of the tourism industry. Brothers and sisters, if we fail to act with urgency, changes in the climate will have catastrophic impact on our economy and the livelihoods of our people for decades to come. As trade unions increasingly focus on climate action, several key considerations are essential to effecting integrate environment concerns with a core objective of protecting workers' rights and advancing economic justice. Here are some critical factors we must consider. 1, alignment of climate and labor goals. By advocating for just transition, unions and other stakeholders can ensure that climate policies are coupled with strategies for just transition, which includes job creation, retraining programs, and support for workers affected by the shift to green economy. At the same time, the trade union must also advocate for policies that will both protect the environment and provide economic stability for workers, avoiding scenarios where environmental measures might lead to job losses without adequate support system. Engagement and education. Union must work to actively involve its members in discussions about climate actions and sustainability to ensure their concerns and suggestions are incorporated. Union must also have a responsibility to provide members with education and training on how climate policies impact different industries and jobs, and how workers can contribute and benefit from sustainable practices. Policy advocacy. Trade union must work with policymakers to shape climate legislation that considers workers' needs, such as green job standards, and support for workers transitioning from high-emission industries. Additionally, we must build alliances with environmental organizations and other stakeholders to strengthen our advocacy efforts and create comprehensive solutions. Sustainable practices. As union, we must lead by example. This includes implementing sustainable practices within and across unions' operation, such as reducing waste, using renewed energy, and promoting green office practices. When we demonstrate the feasibility and benefits of sustainable practices to both members and the broader community. Equity and inclusion. We must recognize and address the disproportionate impacts of climate change on marginalized and low-income communities, ensuring that union-led climate action promote equity. We must develop strategies that include diverse voices and perspectives, particularly from those most affected by both climate change and economic disparities. Brothers and sisters, taking all that I've said into account, climate action is a critical agenda for unions now more than ever. I repeat, climate action is a critical agenda for trade unions now more than ever. The devastating impacts of climate change are already being felt all around the world, from extreme weather events to community displacements. Trade unions have a key role to play in advocating for bold and transformative actions to address this climate crisis. As a major force in the labor movement, the trade union must levy its collective power to push stronger environmental policies, promote green technologies, and ensure just transition for workers. Brothers and sisters, I would like to remind you of some inspiring words which were sung by the late, great Michael Jackson. Heal the world. Make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. This song calls on all of us to stand together Because when trade unions band together, we can create a powerful alliance for climate action, which will protect both the planet and the people who rely on it for their livelihoods. It is time for us, brothers and sisters, in the trade union movement, to seize the moment and lead the charge towards a more sustainable and prosperous future for all. I thank you.